All right, now we're going to go live to that press conference where the University of North Carolina is introducing Mack Brown as the new head football coach. Let's listen in.
First of all, I'd like to thank our Board of Trustees, and some of them are here today, sitting here in the front. Our chairman, Haywood Cochran, Dwight Stone, Lowry Cowdle, and Chuck Duckett. Thank you for your incredible guidance and leadership, the expediency in which we got to today's announcement that we have a new head coach. I cannot thank you enough for what you've done for me and for this university, at least in the last 7 years that I've been here. So thank you, and appreciate all the support that we get. In addition to that, I believe our faculty athletics rep, Lisa Broom, may be here. I'd like to thank Lisa for her guidance throughout the year, not only today, but throughout the year, and all the support you give our student athletes. Leslie Parise, the chair of the faculty at the University of North Carolina. I'm not sure if Leslie's here, but she does an incredible job with all of our faculty in trying to communicate all the issues associated with our campus, including athletics. I don't know if Dr. Kevin Guskowitz is here, the Dean of Arts and Sciences, but Kevin is instrumental in working with us in many areas in athletics. So I appreciate all of their hard work. Daryl Johnson, the chairman of the Faculty Athletics Committee, who's the head of trauma surgery here. Not sure if Daryl's here. Occasionally I hear Daryl coming to work. He comes in on the helicopter over the stadium for landing at the hospital, but I always know when he is at work. In addition to those folks, I'd also like to thank our General Counsel's office. Mark Merritt and Steve Cady have worked around the clock to get to this point where I had a document that I could present to our Board of Trustees to get Mack back as our head football coach. In addition, Felicia Washington, our Vice Chancellor for Human Resources and Workforce Strategy and Engagement, she has been remarkable in the quick process that we turned this around this time. In addition, our staff in athletics, Rick Steinbacher, Martina Ballin, Vince Illy, Dwight Hollier, and Robbie Pickerel did a remarkable job in the last 48 hours assisting me in the logistics and in the thought process of how to go about doing this and how to get such an incredible coach and wife back to campus. So thank you very much. A little bit about Mack. I met Mack in 1997. I came down here to visit. The Keenan Center was just built at the opposite end. I met the most positive, enthusiastic coach I've ever met in my life. It left an indelible mark on me and his enthusiasm of what this place meant to him. In 2011, when the AD job came open, the first person I called about this job to get information and to learn about it was Mack. That same enthusiasm, that many years later, was still there. I could hear it in his voice about the excitement of the place, the people, the tradition, the history, the coaches that were here. It was something that just made me think, boy, if I ever had that opportunity, that's something that would be great for me. I got the job. Somehow, some way, the Board of Trustees had no idea what they were doing, but I do appreciate the opportunity. So I get here in November, and then I turn back to Mack, and I said, Mack, I'm looking for a head coach. Do you have any advice or guidance? We talked a lot about Larry. We hired Coach Fedora. He did a remarkable job in a very difficult period of time. And I'm delighted that I can call Larry a friend. I've never been around anybody that handles adversity better than him. He's incredibly professional. And talking to him on Sunday was a very difficult thing for me to do, to let him know that I'd made a decision that we were going to go in a different direction with our head coach. The same way he coaches his team in dealing with adversity and dealing with bad news, he took it with incredible respect and dignity. And it was a learning experience for me in how to handle tough situations. And I have the utmost respect for him and admiration for his family. But now's the time to talk about our future and Mack and what he brings back to the University of North Carolina. You've seen all of his accolades: national championship, incredible winning percentage, going into the College Football Hall of Fame next year. All of those things are laid out in his bio. But what is incredibly important to me is his relationship with players, his relationship with coaches, his relationship with high school coaches. And that's what I'm so excited about, having him back on campus. In addition to that, Mack has won a national championship in football. He's joining 9 other coaches on our staff who have won national championships. Coach Williams, just most recently in 2017. Coach Shelton, last week in field hockey, just won her 7th. And Anson Dorrance is now competing this weekend for his 23rd national championship. So it is that group of coaches that he joins that I have the incredible honor to work with each and every day. So without any further ado, I would like to turn the podium over to our Chancellor, and she can introduce our new head football coach. But please welcome Chancellor Carol Folt.
Good morning, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here today, joining Bubba in welcoming back to Chapel Hill Coach Mack Brown. This is a big day for Carolina and for our students, our faculty, our staff, our alumni, our donors, and Carolina fans everywhere. Today, of course, we are welcoming back a coach in previous seasons with us built a winning football program that reflected the values, the culture, and the commitment to excellence that we aspire to in everything we do here at Carolina. During my time here, I've had a chance to get to know Mack and Sally most recently when we celebrated his induction into the Hall of Fame. And I, too, have really admired his incredible commitment to the success of our student athletes. Looking at the panel that we celebrated that day, it came so clear to me. And also his deep passion for the game of college football. And I also want to join all of you in welcoming all the Browns. His wife, Sally, of course, many of you already know here. She's already been a big contributor to our community in so many ways. So we're so happy to have you back again, Sally. And their children, Barbara, Chris, Matt, and Catherine. We absolutely hope you feel like it's welcome back home. UNC Chapel Hill just celebrated its 225th anniversary. And in thinking about that, I realized that football has been a part of our history for 130 seasons. That means that more than half of our time as America's oldest public university has included football. And I think that's pretty interesting. Today, of course, we are one of America's top universities. We just reached number 5 in federal research a week ago. We're competitive in all areas. And today, our students, faculty, and staff strive for excellence in everything that they do. And our athletic enterprise is no different. I want to thank Director Bubba Cunningham, for all that you do and for the incredible staff that you have here and all the coaches and the people that make this such a great operation. And I think really agree with you that this is an amazingly clever board of trustees because they hired me too. It's great having you here and really do appreciate as well the way we were able to make this happen so quickly. It's just wonderful to be celebrating that today. I also want to join Bubba in expressing my deep gratitude and respect for Coach Fedora. Mack's going to be joining quite an amazing team in athletics at Carolina, joining our other Hall of Fame coaches, including Coach Roy Williams, Sylvia Hatchell, Anson Dorrance, Karen Shelton, Donna Papa. And I'm so proud of all of our head coaches and their staffs who over decades have collectively graduated tens of thousands of student athletes, while at the same time winning 276 ACC titles, 50 national team. They've coached 66 individual national champions and 94 Olympians. And outside the classroom and in their lives beyond Carolina, our student athletes really shine. They have become community leaders and successful in all professions, as is true for all of Carolina's graduates. And we know how important the coaches and the staff are at their success. Just a few weeks ago, we celebrated Karen Shelton's 7th national championship. I'm going to be there when the soccer team competes in their 28th women's soccer Final Four appearance, and we're all going to be cheering them all on. It's an exciting time to be here and to be part of athletics. So, Mack, you are returning to a wonderful community that is welcoming you with open arms and agrees with you that we are all dedicated to making our student athletes thrive. I know that is top of mind for you and having a really successful football program. So welcome back, welcome home, and why don't you come up to the podium and I will hand you maybe your first game ball.
Thank you very much. I didn't want to fumble it. Take care of it. Sally and I are very excited to be here. We've looked at different opportunities over the last few years, and Sally and I would sit down, and it didn't seem to be the fit. Wasn't where we wanted to live. It just didn't seem to be the right place for us. So I asked Sally 2 years ago, where would we go? She said, I'll coach with you, I'll travel with you 3 different places. I'll go to Hawaii, I'll go to the Bahamas if they start football, or I'll go to Chapel Hill. And those are the 3 places that I would go. So thank you, trustees, for trusting us and giving us this opportunity. Thank you, Chancellor. Thank you, Bubba. We're really, really excited about this. You start asking yourself, why coach again? Maybe you've done enough. And you start looking at being out a few years, and you really miss the players. You miss the relationships with the players. And you miss, as I look over to Dwight Hollier, and Rick Steinbacher, and Corey Holliday, and Clint Gwaltney, you miss having a piece of their lives and being so proud of them. When we came back for the Hall of Fame celebration in August, to see so many players, and Sally was talking about doctors and lawyers and guys who had been successful in so many areas, and just to think that you had a little piece of that success is something that's really, really special. And you miss having a staff. ESPN was so good to me, and I really enjoyed it. It was a great transition from coaching, and I got to watch games. I got to call games. I got to spend time with coaches and players, and it helped me because I learned so much more about the media than I knew before, and I think I can handle my relationships with media better now because I understand your job better, and it's a lot more difficult than coaches think it is, by the way. But also the fact that I was able to see so many different places and what they were doing in football and how they were handling their kids and practicing and calling their games, and that was important. So I can't wait this afternoon to meet the team. This void, they lost their coach. They had some very difficult games this year. Well, Sally and I have a void because we haven't had a team for a number of years now. And this afternoon, when we meet that team, we will fill their void for being their leaders and their coach, and they'll fill our void for needing a team. And then we'll have to work in a number of areas. We'll have to work to communicate very quickly because a lot of times men don't communicate very well. We keep all of our feelings, and women can talk, and they all get along with each other. We got 2 daughters. I ask them in the morning, what are you going to do? And it takes 45 minutes to get through with what they're going to do. We ask our 2 sons, got anything to do today? No. Ask them in the afternoon, how'd your day go? It's fine. Anything exciting happen? No. I'm going to go watch TV. So we have got to get this group to communicate with us starting today. And after you communicate and you learn to communicate with each other, then you can build up some trust and respect. And those are easy words, but they're very difficult to do. And it's something that you've got to really work at. And then I went to Iraq in the summer of '08, and I spent 10 days on the front lines. And I learned that we've got 19-year-olds over there fighting for our freedom. And I asked the General Odinero, who's in charge of the Iraqi military group at that time, I said, why do they come? Why are they here? He said, we have a common purpose. And our common purpose is very important to us, and that's to keep our country safe. So with the guys this afternoon, we'll learn to communicate. We'll talk about that. We'll start building some trust and respect because we want them to fill our void, and we want to do the same for them. And then at the same time, our common purpose is for them to have a great experience here, for them to learn to be better people when they get out of here and have a wonderful life afterwards. And we want them to win. I've tried that both ways. And winning's a lot more fun than that other stuff. It's not even close. It's not even in the same ballpark. And then I want to meet the coaches that are here and the staff that's here. They've worked really, really hard. And those kids played hard this year. And then I want to reach out to recruits and high school coaches and all of those things that we have missed. We had a great relationship with the high school coaches when we left here. And that's something we will renew, the ones that are still out there, and we'll get to know the the new guys, because that is such a key to getting better. Our team was probably 90+% from the state of North Carolina when we left. And you want to go to school where your parents, your high school coach can see you play, your friends can see you play. You want to go to school where when you get through, you can get a job in an area where you've been popular and made a name for yourself on the football field. So it's really, really important for their futures. If they want to build a life in this state, go to the University of North Carolina. Get a degree from one of the best academic institutions in the country where the faculty is unbelievable. People know it's hard when you get that degree, and go play in front of people and fix a struggling program. Come out here and help us get this thing back on track and fill those seats, and that's very, very important as we start looking through. The only tough thing about this was very quick. We had to make some quick decisions, and I'll talk about that in a second. But the tough thing was I like Larry Fedora. I have respect for Larry Fedora. And he did a tremendous job here in times under very difficult circumstances. So I will promise Larry and his wonderful family that Sally and I know well that we will take care of his players and we will help them grow and move forward like he was working to do for many years here. We will also make sure that there will not be one negative word said about Larry Fedora or his staff in front of any of these players. And if Dylan, his son, wants to stay on the staff, I'd love to have him. And I have not been able to talk to Larry yet because this happened so fast. We didn't even talk to our children. So we had to text them to tell them we were coming. It moved so quickly. So, but I want to make sure that everybody understands the great respect that we have for Larry, and that changing coaches is very difficult. It affects a lot of families, not just Larry's, and we will reach out and that we handle all of those situations the best that we can. So looking forward to seeing the team this afternoon, looking forward to meeting the staff over the next couple of days. If people ask, have you got staff in mind? Sure I have. I've been out and thought about going back into coaching every year, so you've got staff in mind. If anybody asked, before you asked, have you contacted any coaches? None. I hadn't had time. So I have not talked to anybody. Do you have coaches you know you're going to hire? I've got some in mind, but I really haven't gotten to a point that I can call permission to talk to them and see if they would be interested in coming in. So talking to the players, talking to the high school coach, the recruits, trying to talk to the 12 commitments that we have at this time, putting ourselves in a position to visit with the staff, visit with the coaches, start thinking about who you're going to bring in, and move as quickly as we can is very, very important. The reason I think Bubba had to move so fast is early signing date. It's changed things, and it's changed things tremendously because a large majority of the kids signed on the first date last year. And that's not something that I anticipated in the American Football Coaches Association. Signing date, we wanted it so the kids that knew they were coming to North Carolina could sign. We wanted it so the kids that were coming in early in January would have an opportunity to sign because they didn't have a signing date before. We didn't think that a large majority of kids would sign. So we'll probably ask some kids to slow down a little bit and give us some time to get to know you. The other thing that Bubba did this morning and was really, really fun for Sally and I is we got to meet all the head coaches on campus. There is no better all-around athletics program in the country than the University of North Carolina. It's a flashback, but Coach Williams and I we worked together here my first year. We've stayed very dear friends. Our sons and daughters are tremendous Carolina fans. It got me in trouble some in Austin. I had to keep their mouth shut. When Roy'd come to play, they'd say, "Can we get tickets?" I said, "Nope. Nope. You can't wear Carolina blue sitting next to the president of Texas. You can't do that." I said, "Can you go and keep your mouth shut?" And they said, "No, we can't." I said, "So you don't get tickets." That's just it as we look through. But meeting all those coaches, and so many of them are still here. It's amazing the success they've had and the longevity that they've had, and it shows you how special this place is. So, and the last thing is, why come? We had a relationship with Bubba. We trust him. That's so important. We were in a position where we didn't have a team. We didn't have a game coming up. We didn't have a bowl game. We didn't have to ask anybody's permission. I've done a whole lot of contracts. We're at a point where we didn't have to ask for the world to leave somewhere to go. And we wanted to coach. And we wanted to coach here. And Sally was kind of cutting up about Hawaii and the Bahamas. This is really true. This is the only place that we would have gotten back in coaching to do because the place is so special to us. We love challenges, and with this opportunity that the trustees and the chancellor and Bubba have given us, it gives us an opportunity to fix things, and we love to fix things. So, Steve, any questions?